In continuation with this frame number 3 of the chapter 4 poverty, it is the second video for the same frame number 3. Now we are coming to the chronic indebtedness. See, as we have discussed earlier, that poor people, they are able to arrange that much of money or that much of earning so that they can live a daily life on the daily basis. So they do not have any extra income or some savings for the future works. So in case of any emergency or any family function or ceremony, if they need money, they have to borrow it from the money lenders. And especially they are illiterate, they have lack of awareness, they don't have the accounts in the banks, and they don't have the assets also. It is very important thing I need to just clear you that the economists identify the poor by two things. Number one, that is the occupation, and number two, the ownership of assets. It is very important note, please note it down into note that economist identifies the poor on the basis of number one, their occupation, and number two, the ownership of assets. So the poor people, they do not have any savings or something other type of sources, so they have to borrow the money from the money lenders in the time of needs and requirements. So, but the money lenders, especially in the rural areas, they may be the landlords, they may be the Mahajan, they may be the Baniya or something other people, they charge very high interest rate. And that way they exploit the poor people. So, this is the reason of the chronic indebtedness. Means when the interest rate is high, they are unable to pay the principal amount of the money. So they have to pay interest again and again and again. And due to this compound, sometimes there is compound interest system also. Due to this compound interest rate system also, they always remain in the debtness, that is called the chronic indebtedness. Okay. So point number 6, chronic indebtedness. For any emergency or some family ceremony like marriage or some illness or some disease, like, the poor have to borrow the money from the local money lenders. As I have told you, there may be Mahajan, landlord, Baniya, something like that, who charge high rate of interest, and this high rate of interest that lead them into chronic indebtedness, means they always remain the debtors. Okay, so it is very important point number 6, that is the chronic indebtedness. Point number 7, what about the shelter and housing facilities? See, in the rural areas, they live in the kacha hutments that are generally made of the mud, baked mud, and the roof part is made of the bamboos and grass, all these. And if we discuss about the shelter and housing for the urban areas, generally we have seen poor people, they live in the slums, and their houses are made of tin, metal sheets, and the iron rods like that. See, for example, Dharavi area in the Mumbai, it is the largest slum of the whole Asia. So, shelter and housing, I will also send you some of the photographs of shelter and housing so that you will come to know what is the reality. Okay, so I will send some pics also regarding the shelter of housing of the poor people. So, the poor people reside in the kacha hutments with walls made of the baked mud. There is no bricks, there is no cement. Okay, only the mud is used, that is the baked mud, and roofs made of grass, bamboo, and woods. The roof part of the huts, that is made of the grass, bamboo, and woods. In the rural area, I have written here in the bracket, that is rural area. Whereas in the urban areas or metro cities, poor people live in the slums areas, as I have given you the example of the Dharavi in the Mumbai, which is the largest slum area around the Asia. The dwellings made of tin shades and metal sheets and the iron rods. So this is about the shelter and housing. Now point number 8, that is the education and health services. See, these education and health, they are not considered as the biological needs, but they are very much essential, the point of view with the social and economic needs, because literacy give you to know what is going on and create the awareness also. So education and health services, poor people mostly deprived of the education services, and one of the reason, especially in India, that is the child labor. The family size, one of the important demographic aspect of the poor people, that is the larger family size. Because of the larger family size, even the children have to shoulder the responsibility to earn some money, and they are generally engaged in the child labor type works. So poor people are mostly deprived of basic education and primary health services. This is one of the important cause as well as effect of poverty. Uneducated people or illiterate people, they cannot get much skill. So the illiteracy is not only a cause, but it is also an effect. It is also an effect of remain poor or living in the poverty. So it is very important that we should try to give education to the poor people, especially poor children, and government has started many of the schemes for their giving education, free education to the poor people. Secondly, primary health services. Although the government is giving primary health services nowadays, per earlier days we talk, then they were generally deprived of the primary health services, especially at the time of the motherhood. They need much of the care, proper nourishment, nutritional foods, vitamin D, iron, and all these things which are very much essential for the motherhood. So, this is one of the important cause and effect of the poverty. That is and what is the reason I have told you, that is the child labor. Next is the job and employment. There is always job insecurity and the temporary nature of the employment. Poor people generally face these issues, the job insecurity and temporary nature of employment. In villages, especially in the rural areas, we have to find two type of unemployment problems. One is the seasonal unemployment and other is the disguised unemployment. So because of this seasonal unemployment in the rural area and in urban areas, poor migrated laborers are in search of work place to place, city to city. See, in the urban area, the poor people, they work as the laborers. They are giving their services for buildings and all these things, making house. But as that building is complete, that house is completed, then they have to go for the other contractor or to get new work. So they are going here and they are in search of work. So this temporary nature of job is prevailing in the urban area and as well as in the rural area due to the seasonal unemployment problem. And 10th point is gender inequality. It has been observed that in poor families, women are not allowed in decision making. The wage rate discrimination is also found, and girl child is generally deprived of education facility, and that is the reason of high literacy in the women and females. In the illiteracy, high rate of illiteracy in the women of the poor families. So in the poor families, it is a trend that they have not been given much power, much decision making powers. The girl child is not preferred the boy child is preferred for education and other things, and the discrimination in the wage rate is also found.